The Bucs knew exactly what the Arizona Cardinals were going to do in not one, but two critical fourth down situations. What's the fallout from another gut-wrenching loss for the Redbirds? Plus, we hear from the head coach, Jonathan Gannon. Johnny.
Yeah, we're going to break down his comments. This is the most candid and honest, I believe, we've seen Jonathan Gannon in weeks. What does it signal? And is he really safe ahead of these final 5 games? PHNX Cardinals starts now. Hey, welcome in. Live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. I'm a loser, baby. Let's go. It's PHNX Cardinals on a big fat loser Monday. Like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your podcast. 9 out of 10. We're doing this. It's your number one Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. That's Brack. I'm Johnny Venerable. We got Noah behind the mic today. Welcome, everybody. Big thanks for making it a banner month for this little fanboy pod. Over 1 million views for this little fanboy pod, despite just one dub, Bo.
That's right. Just one win. We avoided at the very beginning of the month a no-win November. So, look, I mean, we call them Big Fat Loser Mondays. Around here, we just call them Mondays as Cardinals fans, as you try to pick up the pieces from another heartbreaking loss from your favorite football team. This episode of PHNX Cardinals brought to you by your friends over at Bet365. It's never ordinary. Download the Bet365 app today. Use the code PHNX365. You deposit $10. You bet $5. You get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. What's up to the chat? I see you out there utilizing your supporter emojis out there. AZ Moses, oh for sure. Dylan Richards, Brian P. I see you, Matt. What's up, Jacob? The entire squad is here. Sag. We got Shaff already dropping a nice little super chat. Thank you to our guy, Shaff. We missed you yesterday. And those admiring my hat, yes, you can get it for a cool 30% off at the merch store. That's right, the ALLCITY merch store. We have our Cyber Monday and our Black Friday continuing into this week.
Hit that like button. Big thanks to everybody in the chat. Big thanks to everybody crushing it in the watch-along yesterday. 500 strong for over 3 hours. Watching that horror show of a game out in Tampa. At no point in that game did I think the Tampa Bay Bucks knew the Cardinals' play calls. I just thought, oh, these are poorly executed offensively, and that's why it's not working. Turns out,
shame on you.
A little bit of both. Little bit of both. We got so much to cover here. We're in DEFCON 1 as Cardinal fans. I told Bo earlier, I think this is the most toxic I've ever seen the fan base. Not like bad people or anything, like people just universally wanting change and wanting change now. And I think as much that I can accommodate everybody and just say, hey, you have the right to feel that way. I agree. There needs to be change. There's comments from Jonathan Gannon where it's like, for instance, he didn't even know about the story we're about to talk about. So if he doesn't even understand what's happening with Todd Bowles, probably not going to listen to what's going on with this fan base right now either.
Yeah, blinders on, right? I mean, look, when you've lost 9 of 10, when you're in the thick of it, and when you talk about facing adversity and trying to get to the other side of it, some of the things only thing you can do is put your head down and continue to work and put one foot in front of the other. Every cliche you've heard when facing tough times. But it was a bit astounding today. I thought Theo Mackey did a great job in outlining it in today's AZ Central, the Arizona Republic, as far as Todd Bowles' post-game comments. And then when you couple them with what, Gannon said in his post-game about 2 critical moments from yesterday's loss, where we outlined and we went through them, you, me, Britton, on the post-game show, and they're put underneath the microscope, and even more so as we see the comments from the two head coaches with the teams involved. Well, here we go. Todd Bowles. We'll start with Gannon's comments. As far as the Cardinals, they had a little bit of a pitch on a 4th and 1. After going for it on 3rd and 1, they tried to push the ball downfield, a 30-plus yard pass to Michael Wilson in double coverage. On 4th and 1, Gannon said, quote, "They had everybody jammed up in there. It's a play we practiced for a couple weeks now. It was a good play by them on the Cardinals' 4th and 1 turnover on downs outside run." So you've got that from Gannon, and you've got from Todd Bowles, the head coach, former DC here for the Cardinals, but coach of the Bucs, said, "The formation told us the ball was going outside." He's talking about his defense. They did a heck of a job in film study. Anthony Nelson made a heck of a play.
Big yikes. And
you want me to continue on with the other one, or you want to just break this one?
I want you to keep going.
Then we were getting into the conversation about the 4th and 2, the ill-fated 4th and 2, the final offensive play of the game for the Cardinals, where Jacoby Brissett passed to Michael Wilson. It was dead from the very moment that left Brissett's hands. And Gannon said, as far as that final series, we went 4 and out. You've got to block people. You've got to get open. You've got to hit open guys. Bowles said, as far as the final play, quote, "We kind of knew what the route was. They did a hell of a job jumping the route, knowing it was going to come up short."
I mean, like, you watched them all game. They knew what was coming. The Cardinals, to me, opposing coaches are telling you this now through the media, but they're telling you this with their answers, that they do not I don't want to say they don't respect the Cardinal staff, because that's incorrect. I think Jonathan Gannon has a lot of respect around the NFL. The opposing staffs are not scared of what the Cardinals do, at least offensively right now. And maybe you can say to a defensive extent, like in their division, I don't think their division opponents are afraid of them defensively, because we've seen that. Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Mike McDonald. But let's just focus on yesterday. Like, you had an offense that has not been performing well for Tampa Bay come out and be functional, and then specifically a defense that had given up 28, 34, and 44, hold the Cardinals to under 20 points. And then we always talk about those pivotal downs where the Cardinals just completely vomit all over themselves week after week. Go back and look at these 9 of 10 losses, the games that were close. End of the game against Indianapolis, end of the game against the Packers, end of the game against the Titans, end of the game against 49ers, end of the game last week against Jacksonville. For the love of God, pick up a first down. They can't do it. Get in field goal range. Can't do it. Put the ball in the end zone. Horrific in the red zone. Yeah. It's like teams know the Cardinals will beat themselves. And if they don't, we'll have the blueprint on how to beat them. I mean, that play call, first of all, Bam Knight behind Isaiah Adams, the number 1 offensive lineman per PFF yesterday, was running up the gut for consistently 5 yards per carry. Yeah. So the Cardinals decide to do a slow, methodical toss sweep off the left-hand side. Yeah. And Tampa's like, "Thanks so much. We know exactly what's coming." They knew it before the play even happened. They said that. I mean, it's an embarrassment. And I posted this on Twitter late last night, just posting through it, right? That's what we do. We're just posting through it on Twitter, not spending time with my family, ignore my loved ones, because I just can't believe we're here. And it's like, you blowing close games does not mean you're close. You're not close. This happens every week. You're not a play away. Other teams just feel like you will beat yourself, or we'll have the blueprint to beat you. And that's what's happening right now. And Todd Bowles, I don't think he was trying to be a jackass when he said that. I think very much he was just of the mindset, you know what? Guys, we saw this on tape. This is what they do. It's predictable.
It is. And I remember talking to Tyler Rowland of Locked On Titans going into that matchup. And he was describing, Brian Callahan and the struggles and just kind of how the Titans weren't running an NFL caliber offense, and as far as the lack of layering and creativity. And I said, do you see a little bit of that in the Cardinal? And he's like, "Funny you say that." Yes, I do see a lot of that.
Oh my God.
Back and check the tape. It was a great interview. Tyler is dialed in, really knows how to break down film with the best of them. and is saying like it lacks creativity, it lacks NFL type layering as far as passing concepts. And it's like, it's another example that has been shown week in and week out of this season, of this just brutal season where the Cardinals are 3-9. They endured a 5-game losing skid and now are on a 3-game losing skid where they've just been outmatched and outwitted by the opposing coaching staff. And primarily when it goes to the offensive side of the football. Think about this. Micah Parsons, post-game, after a 3-sack performance, he was a game-wrecking war daddy for the Green Bay Packers. And it's not like he flew under the radar. It's Micah effing Parsons, and he's just making a turnstile out of Jonah Williams, says in the post-game locker room. I've never seen that many one-on-one matchups in my entire life. Byron Murphy II, the Seattle Seahawks defensive lineman, after blowing up Jacoby Brissett play after play, saying Jacoby Brissett was a sitting duck back there. The 4th and 4 debacle from last week, and now this. Todd Bowles trying to be complimentary of his players. He isn't trying to take any shots.
No,
He's about
I don't think he was either.
As they come. And he just it exposes where they were ill prepared and not creative enough to compete at this level.
This is the biggest indictment. Let me say this in 2 parts. Drew Petzing will be gone in January, but it's December 1st right now, and that's a problem. We got to endure 5 more weeks of this, and you got to play multiple elite defense.
It's a long December. That'll hit.
There you go. Well done. The Rams defense number 2 overall. You got to play Houston. I think they're 1st overall. I mean, Cincinnati's defense looked way better last week. I mean, Atlanta's defense at least has players. Like, it's a long way to go to get to January. And I know that we followed up on Benjamin Albright's report that Gannon is safe and he doesn't know if they're going to switch coordinators. They're firing Drew Petzing, although it probably will not be framed like that. It will probably be of the standpoint of it's just contracts not being renewed. Good luck to you. It'll be they'll fluff up a tweet via rap sheet, and like fans will celebrate but be pissed off at the same time because they've had to endure this for 3 years. I mean, think back. Remember the Benjamin Solak article that came out for ESPN? And it's like Benjamin wanted to know what happened to Marv last year, and he was just in football coaching malpractice. The routes he was running were not of NFL caliber. There was no creativity to them, and he was set up to fail last year. And he's breaking down in his locker this time last year. And then it's carried over this year, and it's like, hey, Michael Wilson's a good player. What's taking this long? Here's where I'm at with this, though. And here's where, I'm a Jonathan Gannon fan. He's a great guy. He's a great human being. He's a great person. Just not winning enough. And you couple that with the fact that he enables this. This is him enabling him. Mm-hmm. And you've allowed this. You've allowed yourself to have one of the worst coaching records in NFL history that is likely going to go into a 4th season because you didn't have the guts to go up. You're talking about gutting these guys. Go up to your coordinator and make a change. And he wouldn't do it. And we got some pretty damning presser clips around the corner, and it's just like they seem totally lost. And here's where I'll back up the universal mob, because it's a mob on social media. People are canceling their social tickets. I mean, there's another outlet that said today that 90% of the fan base wants Drew Petzing gone. 90% of the fan base wants Jonathan Gannon fired. That cannot be disputed. 90% of it. I think that's conservative. That how can you trust right now Jonathan Gannon to pick another coordinator and to ensure that they themselves are held accountable after not holding this guy accountable for 3 seasons? That, to me, that's where I will back Cardinal fans to the ends of the earth. You had an elite offensive line coach that's now blossoming. You let him leave, and then you just make excuses after excuses for this guy, and he is sabotaging your success, and in turn, you're sabotaging your own success now.
Yeah. We will hear from the Cardinals head coach why he thinks that you should believe in him and his coaching staff, plus an update on Kyler Murray. It's all coming up next. PHNX Cardinals.
Man, I'm getting all hot and bothered.
Yeah, I'm sorry for yelling.
Shows, I'm hot, I'm bothered, I'm frustrated, I'm sweaty, but I'm going to tell you right now, APS can help with that. APS is the right way to save time, energy, and money when you upgrade to a smart thermostat. Right now, you're going to cut costs year after year. and APS customers can help you get a smart thermostat for as low as $0 a month. $0 at aps.com/sale. They got sales going on right now. You can track it via your phone, smart app for your smart thermostat. I love being able to set it wherever I am, whether I'm in my bedroom, I'm at my backyard, away from my house. And it's just like, I don't want to have those big crooked numbers at the end of the month that I know can come with heating and air here in the valley. So do yourself a favor, get smarter about your smart thermostat. Contact APS today. Shipping and tax is not included. Other restrictions apply. Again, level up with the smart thermostat for as low as $0.
It's always a serious situation when you've been in an accident or have a serious injury or you're close to a wrongful death. Look no further, do your research, and you're going to find out that the husband and wife law team is going to be the law firm for you. Phoenix is their home. Look, they are Valley natives. They raise their 8 children here, and their focus is always on their clients' result and building and helping give back to this community. Let's face it, serious injury, you got to hire an attorney that's focused on your outcome, not how much money the firm makes. And that's where Mark and Alexis, that's where they thrive. Their team brings hundreds of years of combined trial experience, multiple certified specialists with personal injury and wrongful death. Check them out right now. They are not only going to get you the best results, but they bring some much needed levity. You follow them on social media, you'll see this. They like to joke around. They like to keep the vibes high as you're dealing with a serious situation, wrongful death, injury. They're trial lawyers, and they'll go to trial if it's necessary for your case. If you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team at 602-783-8841 and visit their website. Links in the show notes. And tell them your friends Johnny, Bo, and Noah sent you from PHNX.
Appreciate everybody watching right now as we jump back into this horror show of a team. 9 of 10 losses, the season from hell. We're going to cover that here in a second. Again, want to shout out our guy, Teo Mackey, who did a great job getting these quotes. We weren't in Tampa Bay, obviously. So right now with this Cardinal team, we can only take this at face value. And I believe Todd Bowles and what he's saying. And then the Cardinals in turn, Bo, like you put it well off air, they have their heads down. And some people might want to say like they have their heads in the sand. Jonathan Gannon, by hook or by crook, is going to go through the season without making offensive staff changes or just staff changes in general. Do you remember in 2023, after they went 4-13, did he fire anybody? Or was I think the entire staff was brought back, correct?
Yes, it was the status quo. There was no coaching staff changes from 23 to 24.
All right, so 24 to 25. From last year to this year, they fired their defensive line coach and their pass rush specialist coach. Those have been they've gone 15-31 and have made 2 staff changes, both on the defensive line, both under Gannon's side of the ball, which you would assume he has higher expectations. He knows that side of the ball. In 3 years, the Cardinals have not made one single offensive staff change. I don't anticipate that to change until January. I think Jonathan Gannon, and you can call this admirable, you can call this loyal to a fault, is going to go through this season and make sure that his guys get a soft landing spot in January. And that's why he's respected within coaching circles. And that's all well and good. And I hope these guys get jobs, the guys that aren't retained. Like, I don't want to see anybody out of work. But I also know that, like, Cardinal fans have to endure this, have to endure it week after week after week, that not only they're losing, they just look so inefficient when the game is on the line and big plays are on the line.
Yeah.
It just doesn't add up. And so I kind of use that as a prelogue here, however you want to say it. Prologue. What's that term in a book?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Preface.
Yeah. Preface this by Jonathan Gannon's comments today. I think we're about as honest of what we've seen from JG in about a month's time. I think this is him being blunt and honest pertaining to the future of what's going to happen with this team and this franchise, Bo.
Yeah. He was pressed a little bit on the question as far as why to kind of trust him and his coaching staff to get it right, as he continues week in and week out to say they're close and he trusts the process and the people. And this is Gannon's answer.
Yeah. It's a good fair question, Josh. Yeah, I believe in that. We got the right people. I say we got the right people is we will learn and grow and get better. And if you get better, you should win.
That's a tough one. I think, I don't think any fan base, like, they're going to take that as okay, all right. Especially after coming off of some things like where there's, as far as player availability, dealing with injuries, lots of strikes against this organization. So it was like, okay, well, why should we trust you? And then you also look at the record and you look at, they go from 8-9 now to 3-9. That's a tough sell, about as tough as it comes for anybody. It's like me telling my parents I'm going to get my grades up. I'm like, well, you're a terrible student. Like, why should we trust you? So it's that's the tough one. And were you wanting to get into where he kind of feels like the issues are as far as this team and its inability to get over the hump?
Yeah, let's play that one.
I mean, I'm not pleased where we are. I'm really not. But it's our path right now. You know what I mean? So, like today, if about being eliminated, all that stuff, right? Like, that sucks when you think about it. Okay. But I'm not going to let that affect how, when I turn on a tape, my process to do my job at a high level, going to play the next opponent. Because then to me, you're wasting time, and that's not a control anymore. It was, now it's not anymore. And you move on, and you do your job the best of your ability, and get ready to go compete. Yeah, like I said, like we know how to compete. We don't know how to win, and that falls on me. You know what I mean? Just like you said, Craig, like that's completely on me. So we'll keep forging ahead. You know what I mean? But these games are, I talk about it with the staff, like, and again, this is an external factor in my mind, but the past is the past, right? But you're at where you are where what your record is, or whatever. And I don't know the reasons now, but I know there's a reason we're going through this. And if you're in this league or you're in competitive situations, whatever you do, you're going to go through adversity. We're in it, and you just try to keep digging out and know that you will come out the other side better. And I do believe that.
A lot to take in there. The fact that they don't know, I don't know if that was, I space out for a second. Was the comment about they don't know why this is happening in those bites? Because there's also a comment from him today basically saying, like, I don't know why this is happening. We got to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a tough look.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as, like, you talk about these few plays that are the difference between them winning and losing.
Right.
And every game they have them, I think what his point was in that bite was it's not one single thing that's preventing them from getting over the hump. It hasn't just been, as far as according to Jonathan Gannon, it hasn't been either just a lack of player execution, play calling.
Yeah.
It's been a mix of all of that. Now, as far as, the two clips we just played there, where it's just like, I trust our people, and with our people who continue to plug away, once they figure out how to do this, I trust that they're going to get us to where we want to go. That's just that's about as hard of a sell as you can possibly ask a fan base, especially as you've got nearly three seasons worth of data that tells you, I don't know. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them at 15-31 with, 7 games where they've been within 4 points and have been on the losing side.
The staff has failed this fan base, and you've welcomed, I posted on Twitter, I looked it up. You've welcomed 27 draftable players in the last 3 years. Now, not everybody's healthy. Welcome to the flipping NFL. Sorry,
right.
No excuses. You've had money to spend. You've spent it. You've brought in talent. I think we can universally say that the Cardinals are much more talented than their record. Right. Vegas picked you to go to the playoffs this year. Your over-under was 8.5. You couldn't get plus money on the over. Vegas told everybody, this is a 10-win team this year. Yeah, they'll go to the playoffs this year. And you're going to win 3 to 4 games. And you have the same people as the last 2 years. I mean, like, to me, I know he knows what the problem is. But at the same time, I think it's disappointing for him not to enact change now. I think maybe he feels like it can't get any worse, and I'm going to keep these people employed because I don't want to, succumb to the mob. But like the fact that you're saying like we believe in these people, you're going to fire them in January.
Right.
The only reason. Go ahead.
It's a romantic idea to say, stick with us, this ragtag underdog coaching staff that has just started and thrown into, the most adversity that any coaching staff has faced in their first 3 seasons, right? Yeah. And that they're going to learn from their mistakes and they're going to be, grow strength from pain, and that they're going to be this Disney underdog story. But the problem is there's nothing that points that people can see from the outside looking into this organization that proves like they shouldn't be part of the angry mob telling them they can't do it.
I mean, like, I just, when you come out and say, we don't know how to win out of 46 games, 46 attempts, but you believe in the people in there to figure that out, that's just like, hey, I'm just going to keep showing up to work and I'm going to keep collecting a paycheck. And it's, and that you're not going to be held accountable. And I see that in the chat. It's like, what I show up to my job. I'm paraphrasing the chat. And it's like, I show up to I have to perform or I will be fired. And it's like these coaches, we have it's a coaching problem. It's not a talent problem. It's not a Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett problem. You lost to the Tennessee Titans. You lost to Mac Jones. You lost to Trevor Lawrence, who you intercepted 3 times. You lost yesterday to a Bucs team. They're not any good. They're a one-and-done team in the playoffs that play in the NFC South. Like, I mean, you're a joke of an operation right now. And I will give Cam Cox a lot of credit because I think he phrased it well on Twitter. Friend of the program, we do some work with Cam Cox at Channel 12. And he's been pushed to basically say, like, do you think JG should be fired? Blah, blah, blah. And he put it well when he just said, I respect JG. He's a good coach. He's built a good culture, something that we echo daily on this show. Players enjoy playing with him, clearly. Like, players like him, right? But the bottom line is just none of that matters when you're not winning. They're just not winning. And you have a ripcord that you have been so resistant and reluctant to pull because you want to do right. It's like the old boys club, and that makes it worse. And I believe it is putting him directly in the line of fire. But man, I mean, to be retained with this kind of record is unheard of. It's unheard of. And he knows he's coming back because of the fact he's not firing anybody. That's the surest sign. Everybody is safe. Nobody is fired. And I can tell you this, doubly sourced. He has not been asked to make changes on his staff. So, like, Matt Eberflus last year, when you know what hit the fan, you got to get Shane Waldron the F out of here. Players hate him. It's just like you got Marvin Harrison Jr.'s dad ripping the Cardinal offense before Monday Night Football on ESPN. Like, if Marv Sr.'s saying that, what are the players saying? They're not prepared with this guy, and you won't make a change? Then to me, that's when you start, casting that aspersion of, we're losing the locker room. I think they've lost part of the locker room as it relates to the messaging and I think they like Gannon. Clearly, we like him. Everybody likes Jonathan Gannon. But I don't think that they believe that, like, hey, we're going to go out coach flipping Sean McVay this weekend. I don't think anybody believes that.
Right. Or, like, I mean, you can just take from what you've seen. When you see a 4th and 1 play and, Trey McBride was taking the arrow to the forehead today where he's saying, hey, I should have strained a little bit more holding my block on the ill-fated 4th and 1 pitch play. But it's just like, what could that be a product of? Not having full conviction in the play call. Right? It's like I got to get out here and I got to push my block and I got to do my job. And that's not asking a lot. And I'm not giving Trey McBride a hall pass here for not being able to do his part, put a hat on a hat and get that first down. But
have you watched Justin Jefferson the last like a month, 2 months of the season?
It takes you out of it. Like the third and one play takes you out of it. And then the 4th and 1, when Jacoby Brissett, I'm sure, is relaying it to the huddle, it's just like, this isn't going to work, right? I mean, it really is. It's, as far as the fan base goes, they're not receiving what they want to hear as far as a coaching staff that has produced the lack of results that they've produced. It's just as simple as that. There's just not going to be any kind of they're not getting anything as far as accountability from this coaching staff that they feel like they deserve that. And I think that they absolutely do deserve that. And it's just like they watch and see the results week in and week out. And then the post-game press conferences, the following the game in a couple days after that, they don't match the results. And that's where they just feel like, well, I can't even trust this team to tell me what went down. There, I sent you that thing from Ben Johnson today. Ben Johnson,
read that.
Coach in his first season with the Chicago Bears. I'm sorry, Noah, but the Bears are the number 1 seed in the NFC. This was pointed out by J.J. Watt. This was a comment from Ben Johnson, asked about Caleb Williams' completion percentage in the pass game. And he said, quote, "It's an area we have certainly talked about. Didn't know that Friday was tough day to throw, but Johnson said to fix it, fundamentally be correct. Primary receiver when he's open, we've got to make sure to hit him. And then all of our pass catchers just harped on it today. We need to be more disciplined in our route detail. It's not where it needs to be. It's not where it needs to be. Our depth's not proper all the time. Our steps isn't. It's unbelievable." He says, he ended the answer with this: "Everyone has a role to play to get the pass game cleared up. It's not where it needs to be. We're winning in spite of our passing game." This is the key here. Not because of it. And none of us are pleased with that.
Does it sound like Bruce Arians? Bruce Arians would rip people's ass at press conferences. I mean, the Big Bird says it here. Sounds like a real head coach. Sounds like a head coach that's going to hold people accountable. That, like you...
And you think like guys are walking, do you think guys are in the locker room or in the coaching, offices and be like, well, screw that guy, I'm out?
No. They're like, oh no, I got to get my act together.
Right.
Oh no. But here's the difference. Because Ben Johnson from day one, the messaging has been clear. Like anything less than excellence will not be tolerated. They got a 2-game mulligan where they started 0-2. And then since then, they've been the number 1 team in the NFC. And Mike McDonald shows up. It took about a quarter of the season to figure out their defense. And then from then on, they've been one of the best teams in the NFC.
Right.
Kyle Shanahan, when he's got a quarterback with a heartbeat, one of the best teams in the NFC.
They're circumventing Caleb Williams, holding the football way too long.
Right.
And putting the offensive line that they put together on the fly from one of the worst units last year. And Ben Johnson brings his philosophy, his scheme from Detroit, and it looks more like the Lions than the Lions did the last couple of years when they've been dominant up front.
I mean, it's just I'm going to tell everybody, we have 400 people watching live. Hit that like button. I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening. My co-host knows this. I know this. Our producer knows this. The Arizona Cardinals, Michael Bidwell, they do not want to fire Jonathan Gannon. They do not want constant turnover. And there is a big part of me that respects that and says he doesn't want to be the franchise like the Jets that are running through coaches. And you want to be able to build something here that lasts. And you want to be able to be proud of a product. And you want to be able to have fans endure themselves, vice versa, to this head coach. And you want to be able to have continuity in the offseason. And they envision themselves all in North Phoenix at that new operation, Gannon and Bidwell and Monti, because they're like Gannon and Monti are great football people, and they're incredibly enduring to be around. And you want to root for them. Like, unlike Steve Keim is a very difficult man to root for, especially toward the end. Like, I have people DMing me today. It's like, I really want to like Jonathan Gannon, but he just doesn't win. Michael Bidwell is going to give Jonathan Gannon, barring something unforeseen, a 4th year. And he's going to go, I believe, up and down college ranks, the NFL ranks, to get a new offensive coordinator. But like this playoff mandate from Benjamin Albright, which, by the way, like, I don't think that's true. I think like a winning season would suffice. Like this year, like 9 and 10 win teams are going to make the playoffs in the NFC. Have you guys looked at the NFC? So I don't think that's true. You're telling me the Arizona Cardinals with 3 wins this year, without Kyler Murray going into 2026, are going to be able to get to 10 wins with this staff right now? I mean, Brian says it in the chat, you're delaying the inevitable. Again, I'm not anti-Jonathan Gannon as a person, but he has blown this opportunity to throw a life raft and to tell everybody, I made a mistake with my offensive play caller. I made a mistake letting Clayton Adams go. It's clearly it's weighing on him and it's impacting the defense. Like I know Jonathan Gannon can coach defense. They've had enough personnel to get it done. Actually, yesterday, they did a pretty good job defensively for the most part, but nobody cares. Nobody cares because there's this big elephant in the room in the fact that he does not have a hold on this offense. He's enabled this guy, and whether he gets fired in January or fired next year, it's delaying the inevitable, unfortunately. It just really is because of the fact that, like, he's going to have to hit a home run with his coordinator and his quarterback in an offseason, and he only has control of one of those two things. He doesn't have control of both.
Yeah. The latest on Kyler Murray as far as him being eligible to return from IR, plus an update as far as where the Cardinals stand in the draft standings, and your super chats all coming your way right here, PHNX Cardinals.
Big thanks to our friends at Rally House, the go-to spot to shop all your favorite local Arizona team gear with tens of thousands of products to shop from. I'm getting ready for this holiday season with our friends at Rally House. You can too. Check them out. Tempe, Mesa, Glendale. Have you checked out Rally House for all your game day needs? Hats, they have them. Jerseys, the best selection. Drinkware, signage, coolers, socks, even sunscreen. Whatever you're looking to get it right now at Rally House. Find your local Rally House location. Shop their product assortment online, rallyhouse.com. Suns gear, ASU, U of A, Cardinals, anything you want, they've got it, and they only carry Arizona sports teams. Scan the QR code on the screen. Check them out now. It's Rally House.
If you're looking for the perfect gift for the holidays, well, look no further than our friends over at Aura Frames and save big with just being a listener or viewer of PHNX Cardinals. By using the promo code PHNX, get $35 off. My wife and I, we just made our 2 young kids take pictures with Santa today. Probably spent way too much money on it. We're like, what are we going to do with all these pictures? Well, we're going to use and take advantage of our friends over at Aura Frames. Unlimited free photos and video. Just download the Aura app and connect to your Wi-Fi. It's unbelievable what's going on. Preload photos before it ships. So before you even get your Aura frame, you can preload your photos so you can just unbox it, put it up in your house, share the photos and videos effortlessly, straight from your phone all year long. Plus, you get a gift box included. Every frame comes packaged with premium gift box, no price tag. It's not going to look cheap or anything like that. It's going to be legit. Don't wait. Win the holidays now with Aura Frames. For a limited time, save the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named number 1 by Wirecutter, by using the promo code PHNX checkout. That's AURA frames.com, code PHNX. This deal exclusive to our listeners. Terms, conditions, they apply.
Man, what a big loser Monday here. Hit that like button. We got 421 watching live. We appreciate you all right now. I want to wait a second before we go back to Kyler Murray here. I want to stay on the subject of Jonathan Gannon for one more piece, if we could, because I do think like this is going to dominate. They're playing the Rams this weekend. They're playing the Rams in the finale. They play Houston. Like, in my opinion, there's one more winnable game really on the schedule, and that's against the Falcons in 3 weeks at State Farm Stadium. But, I mean, Jonathan Gannon, Bo, I know you were on Southwest Biased earlier today. You were talking to Espo about it. You know, does your opinion differ from mine as it relates to why we believe he's going to be retained? And do you think anything could impact that between now and the end of the season? Like, I believe he believes that he's coming back. And there are people out there that he believe he's coming back. I mean, does losing out change that? Do blowouts change that?
Yeah, I still think that there is a long way to go, and the losses can continue to pile up, and things that were true 2 weeks ago or that even remain true today things can certainly change as the perception and new information is provided. I think it's just too much to look away from to not at least consider it, right? But I think it's like you choose your own adventure as far as, what that looks like if you're ownership and if you're moving forward with Monty or whatever you're moving forward with is what undertaking you're going to have to go into this offseason. And like Bidwell is hook, line, and sinker with the direction, the culture that's being built here and doesn't want to abandon that because of what he perceives as, in all of us perceive as a brutal season.
Yeah.
Right. So, but if there's some sort of, lack of a better term, smoking gun that would prove Jonathan Gannon not be fit moving forward, I think that could present itself in 5 weeks of more uncompetitive football. Yeah.
And I'm not rooting for this.
It's unlikely. I think it's unlikely. I'm with you. Like I'm still with you. I think that it's and this is just us, reporting it in what I've heard. What you and Benjamin Albright are hearing is like he's coming back, and what it's going to look like. Hopefully, it's something that could inspire some sort of confidence outside of what the status quo is proven to be.
Yeah, it's a question the fan base wants asked right now. Like, how could he be returning? What if things change over the last 5 weeks? So I didn't want to be naive and not acknowledge it, but I also know, Steve Keim remained employed for a long time, and it was the right time to pivot off of him after they fired Steve Wilkes, and they didn't. And he was enabled for a long time. And I'm not comparing Gannon to Steve Wilkes. I'm more comparing it from a standpoint of loyalty. And I think Michael Bidwell gets a rap sometimes of too quick to make change. And I think sometimes it's the opposite approach. He's like, he's loyal. I remember Ken Wisenhunt got an extra year when a lot of people didn't think he would. It's different though. It feels
he's shown, like when we talk about lack of a precedent of the head coach getting a 4th year, like Steve Keim post Bruce Arians, he had a similar stretch.
Yeah.
Like the team in 2018 went 3-13, fired their coach. Keim got to hire another coach. The team goes 5-10-1 the next season, and then goes 8-8. So you've got three, like the 3-year record there. It's probably pretty in line with where Gannon and Monty are going to be after this little 3-year stretch.
Yeah, and for me, it's like I think about Michael Bidwell not wanting to go back. I don't think he wants to go back out and look for another head coach. I don't think it's a money thing. I just don't think. I know he likes Jonathan Gannon, and I know he believes in what he's doing, and I know the coaching staff believes that they have not had a healthy enough roster win this year, which to me is very short-sighted and naive. Like I'm not buying that for a second. Let's talk about this Kyler Murray situation.
Well, yeah, but first, I mean, I think that like you look at how things have played out and what's resulted in really been the deciding factor between winning and losing football games. It's not the roster's fault. It's not the players' fault.
And that's been part of the problem as it relates to a lot of his pressers too recently, is it just felt very like, well, either he puts it a little bit on the players or nobody gets the blame.
Right.
Or he puts it on himself. Yeah. He said, it's my fault. Your coaching staff, when you hired it, was the youngest in NFL history. You didn't put an experienced person on your staff with you. I mean, the most tenured was Jeff Rodgers.
Yeah.
And they have not improved. These guys haven't gotten better.
Yeah. And what Bidwell and Gannon, if they're going to be a part of this brain trust going forward, continue to be, is if they have to realize what Bidwell, I think, got a taste of for the first time for this organization in 3 decades, that outside perspective, thoughts, and voices benefit this team. And as much as you might be impressed by your guys,
right,
there's guys doing it out there at a higher level right now that you've got to be able to find and recruit and bring in to help revamp some key areas of your coaching staff.
I mean, I and people are going to call me shill, and that's fine. Like, I think Jonathan Gannon can get the defense right at some point. I mean, like, who knows? Like, I think he's a good defensive coach. Do you trust his game management? Right now, you would say no. And then especially objectively, do you trust him to push the right buttons with an offense?
Yeah.
And you just can't say yes to that. You just can't. I mean, to look at a game plan week after week, year after year that's put together that has hampered this team. I mean, this team, watch the Patriots tonight. Compare their skill players to the Cardinals. That's right. And see what the Patriots have been doing in 1 year with Mike Vrabel, with largely the same guys. Throw Diggs in there, and they got a rookie running back. And then it's just, Drake May is a special player. But it's like they didn't tailor an offense for Kyler Murray. They basically said this is a one-size-fits-all offense, and we need a Big Ben kind of quarterback, the lumbering guy that can come in here and only play a certain style. And it's let's trade for Desmond Ridder and let's try out Colt McCoy during training camp. I mean, it's been mostly bad. And now we're sitting here in December of 2025, and it's like I think there's another part of this too, is he's a month away from having to hire a new coordinator or starting that process. And then I read Albert Breer this morning. Guess who's jumping ahead toward their head coaching openings? It's the Titans and the Giants. They got people in mind. Well, those people are going to come with their own set of coordinators. And it's like they've been doing their homework for 2 months. Cardinals are just continuing to employ these guys until you can say, hey, their contracts are expiring. It's like you're behind the 8 ball. Now, we happen to know who they're going to reach out to, and I don't think they're going to have much competition. But all that to say, it does not look like a franchise that's buttoned up right now. It looks like a franchise that's reactionary.
Does that inspire some confidence? Not many teams are going to be reaching out to the candidates.
I mean, like, I don't mind the candidates. I don't mind them.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I'm just messing with you.
They're not hiring Brian Dable.
Right. Yeah.
I don't.
Not Kevin Stefanski either.
No.
All right. Finally, we get to that update on Kyler Murray plus Super Chats, PHNX Cardinals.
Sorry. There's just a lot of emotion going on right now. I'm emotional right now with the bets that I didn't hit on Bet365, but it's not their fault. Bet365 right now handing out bonus bets like they're Santa. Ho, ho, ho. New customers get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Place a $10 deposit. And again, put a $5 bet, get $150 in bonus bets. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. I did pretty good on my bets yesterday. I did have Houston plus 3.5. They got the outright win with Danny Dimes. I did have the LA Rams covering a robust 10-point spread. That didn't work out. And then I love the Jacksonville Jaguars -6, and that hit. So I got 2 out of 3.
Wow. We're close. Johnny's saying we're close.
We're close. I hate you. All right. Bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, or more. Whatever the moment's never ordinary with Bet365. You gotta be 21 years and older, physically located in Arizona. If you were someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Text NEXT STEP to 53342 or visit problemgambling.az.gov, Bo, for more info.
You want to get out tonight to Monday Night Raw? You can get in the door for $73 thanks to our friends over at Game Time. We got a bunch of events coming up. How about the Jerry Colangelo Classic in downtown Phoenix? You can go see ASU take on Oklahoma. You got Grand Canyon tipping it up in that little event going on. How about the Hall of Fame series going on? The Rate Bowl is coming. We'll see what participants are involved in that. The Fiesta Bowl. So many great things going on. Why not download the Game Time app today? Take the heavy lifting out of the equation and let Game Time find you the best tickets to the events that you want to go see. It's simple. Download the Game Time app today and then sign up, create an account, use the code PHNX, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create that account. Redeem code PHNX. Get $20 off. You can get into the Cardinals game next Sunday for under $30 with Game Time. If you wait out, if you kind of hold out, you procrastinate like I do, you're probably going to benefit from it and get even lower price. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
Hit that like button. Subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. Okay, Kyler Murray is not going to play this week, is not going to have his practice window open. And ho-hum, Kyler Murray will never play another snap for this franchise. But we have to do this whole dog and pony show because the Cardinals, to their credit, also have to do it, Bo.
That's right. They got to keep up appearances. They got to keep everything hunky-dory. Everything's good, great, grand. You even got Trey McBride talking about Kyler. Yeah, let's hear from Trey McBride talk about Kyler.
Yeah, Kyler's a warrior. He's a guy who, gave me my first chance. When I came in, him and I were getting rolling, and I have a lot of chemistry with him. He's a great player, great person, and I'm excited for whatever happens with him. I think he's rehabbing great. He's getting better. He's been in the building. He's been at all the meetings, things like that. So I think he's trending the right way, and we'll see what happens this week.
That was at 12:45 today. Jonathan Gannon opening up his press conference, and then a couple answers afterwards.
A couple things here. Kyler, we will not open his window. Not quite there yet. I think so. I mean, he's doing things that he hadn't been able to do, in the past year. So just take it day by day. What he puts, all our players that aren't out there, what they put into the game and into the prep, and I know they all want to play, you know what I mean? And when your health is preventing you from doing that, it can get frustrating, there's no doubt. With him, yeah, half empty, half full. No, I mean, he's working every day, you know what I mean? But I know he wants to be out there. It's just unfortunate right now.
Keaton Slovis will play for this team before Kyler Murray. Slovis, baby. Kyler Murray will never play for this franchise again. There's an unspoken or spoken understanding. Kyler Murray is healthy enough to play. Kyler Murray is going to go to another franchise this offseason, whether it be by release or hopefully by trade, for the fact of trying to recoup a draft pick. And let me preface this for the 500 people watching. We're not rooting for Kyler Murray to be benched, traded, or cut. We're coming at it from a vantage point of this is what the team is doing. They soft benched him. There was a situation that happened midseason. More information will come out this offseason, and they have parted ways without parting ways, and both are keeping up appearances, and Kyler Murray is going to have a fresh start somewhere else. So to ensure that, and to ensure that there are no hiccups in that plan, and to ensure that Kyler Murray stays healthy, he's going to remain on IR until the very last minute. He might be activated before the end of the season. He may not be. I don't know why you put him on the practice field, but he will be healthy the minute the offseason begins and the minute he needs to take a physical. That's what's happening.
Yeah. Kyler Murray's path out of Arizona, it bodes well for him to play nice. Kyler Murray has a lot of respect for his teammates in that locker room, still active and playing for this team. Kyler Murray has a ton of respect for Jonathan Gannon. It wouldn't be in his nature to go and make kind of a big kind of stink about this.
Right.
And it wouldn't get him out of Arizona and into maybe a different situation. I think he understands that all parties involved have to continue to be amicable as far as this divorce goes.
Yeah, and that's it. And then we'll do this every week. So set your watches. We're going to do this every Monday for the next.
Yeah, he'll be eligible still next week to be designated return from IR. And, you might even get as far as he's designated return when there's, let's say, less than 3 weeks left in the season, and they can put up that charade.
3-12 Cardinals activate Kyler Murray. Gannon was doing radio this afternoon. They asked him if he was going to get surgery, and he's like, honestly, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know for sure. And he doesn't know if he's going to play again this season. So come on. We're speaking in hypotheticals. It's a fugazi. We all know, but we all know what this is. We all know what this is.
Surgery's on the table now?
I'm telling you right now, what the people on Twitter that are like, they have to activate him. They're not activating him to play him. It's not happening. We've been on this for 2 months. They benched him softly. There was a situation that led to that. The Cardinals and Kyler Murray are going their separate ways. Now, listen, this offseason, Cardinals could regret it when they're staring down the barrel of Mac Jones and some other people, but they've made their bed. That's why this is going to get crazy this offseason as it relates to Gannon coming back. Kyler leaves. Who's playing quarterback for this team? This coaching staff is 20 games under 500, right? What are you doing? It is the most chaotic, but you know what? They embrace the chaos. They embraced the chaos. They won it. And maybe they've had just too much continuity. Last year was just too much continuity. So let's just take a grenade to everything this offseason.
Look, if Chicago's winning in spite of their passing attack, they need to become one of those teams, but they need to find the play caller.
Is Ben Johnson coming here? Ben Johnson on line
one? Not walking through that door. Your super chats plus more on Kyler and crew coming up next. PHNX Cardinals.
Hit that like button for our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union. They're aces for me, you, and everybody in the Valley. It's never been a better time to do your banking with the premier credit union, taking care of you, Cardinal fans, ASU, Northern Arizona University, branded cards. They've been doing it for 84 years, giving back to the community, providing financial solutions that make lives better. We've got a team of experts who are committed to their members, offering financial solutions tailored to helping real-life people like me, like Bo, like everybody here. Look for Desert Financial checking accounts, savings, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. Open up a free checking account online. Get $200 in bonuses. Get started by visiting desertfinancial.com/200 to get started, Bo.
You were getting lots of compliments at the watch party yesterday about your hoodie. I mean, it's a spiffy looking garment that you're wearing there. I've got some pants I got from Mack Weldon that I get complimented on all the time. And I love my skivvies, my underwear. It's all Mack Weldon, from your tops, your bottoms, to your underoos. It's basically the clothing you're looking for every moment. Where you're going to your gym, where you're going to maybe a holiday party, you're going to a meeting, they got something for everybody in any season. Explore new hoodies, half zips, sweats, crew necks, more at MackWeldon.com, and get 20% off your first order with $125 or more with the code PHNX. They got their Ace collection where you've got, of course, the materials and comfort that you deserve. You got the fit, the style that you want, and you got the confident boost knowing that you're looking good and feel even better without even trying with Mack Weldon. Fall into comfort with Mack Weldon's Ace collection. Go to MackWeldon.com, get 20% off your first order, $125 or more. The promo code PHNX, that's MackWeldon.com. Promo code PHNX. Plus, you probably got some Cyber Mondays deals going on. Check it out today. Use that website, MackWeldon.com.
Somebody said in the chat that we lose subscribers when I fart in my mouth, so I will be sure to do that per show moving forward here when we talk about
lose subscribers. We gain.
Yeah, when we lose subscribers when I do the fart noise with my mouth, and so I will. People don't want me doing it, but it's to emphasize that the Cardinals are farting around this year with everything and anything. They're having to do a charade with their quarterback, and again, everybody's at fault here. And this coaching staff is on the front line. We got 5 more weeks of this. We had so much show to get into today. Are we gonna table a bunch of it for tomorrow?
Never.
And get into hammering a
2-hour show today.
Here's what I want to get into. Noah made this graphic based on your tweet yesterday. Bo had a tweet yesterday, and it's like, it's bigger than just the record, because I think the record in and of itself is damning. 13 and potentially 3-14 this year if they lose out, which they're going to be favored in any games, I don't think, moving forward, maybe Atlanta. And then 15-31 in 3 seasons. But then you look at how this has gone down this season. Let's see it. The season from hell is what we're calling it. Cardinals are 3-9.
Those poor little Redbirds.
That's how I feel right now. Cardinals are 3-9.
Our audio listeners have no idea the horror, just the humanity or lack thereof that we're seeing on the screen right now.
The Cardinals have lost 3 straight and 9 of 10. They've had a 5-game losing streak. They're bound to match that at least. They lost to a team in the 1-11 Titans that Bo and I both firmly feel like would have gone winless had they not blown that game. Like I think that goes without saying. They're a joke of a franchise, and the Cardinals lost to them. They are they tied an NFL record, 0-7 in one-score games. Okay, if by less than 4 points, if they go 0-8 in one-score games by less than 4 points, they will set an NFL record. They will undoubtedly do this. They've blown 3 fourth-quarter leads of 7+ points, first in NFL history. They're the first team in 25 years to lose a 4+ turnover game. Those teams were 50-0. The defense took the ball away 4 times against the Jacksonville Jaguars, had a defensive touchdown. The Cardinals still lost. They still trailed most of that game. They're 0-4 against the NFC West, and 2 Rams losses away from being swept, and 3 and I think 15 in 3 years, whatever the record might be. The regime as a whole is 15-31. I mean, like that. I think everybody for that organization owes Steve Wilkes an apology. Like, Steve Wilkes got fired for way less. Now, they were getting blown out, and it was ugly. But I put on Twitter last night, I think this is the worst Cardinals season of the last 25-plus years. I think it's worse than the Wilkes season. I think it's worse than the expectations missing the playoffs in 2016. I think it's worse than 2022 because you knew that was the beginning of the end. You had just made the playoffs. This is the worst season of my adult life plus as an Arizona Cardinal fan.
I agree with where the expectations were. You can even, I think, throw on there as far as just the just how the Kyler Murray situation has played out.
We'll add that for next time.
Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate. I think you could probably go and survive 4 deep, maybe. But like each and every one of those things is like damning to a season that leaves a stain on a coaching staff or a player. Like if a player has multiple performances like that prove to you, that's evidence against you that you're not fit for the position that you hold.
None of those do any of those stats represent this team being close? Like, and I'm not saying they're not. I think they could be close talent-wise. And I think that's where a lot of people get confused. Like, they have good talent. We like their talent. They're going to add more talent. None of the players that we like, with all due respect to Jalen Thompson, who I like as a player, but they're not being gutted this offseason. This isn't the offseason where you're losing Anquan Bolden, Carlos Dansby, and Antrell Roll. Like, that's not what's happening. All these players are going to be under contract. The rookies ought to be better, and so on and so forth. So they are close from a talent perspective, but like keeping everything status quo and suggesting they're close is ridiculous. And you made a great point yesterday during our watch along. Monti Ossenfort came out over the summer, and what did he say specifically about the fact that he believed the Cardinals were close?
Well, yeah, it was at the winter meetings, or I'm sorry, the combine, where he was saying that when they went 2-5 down the stretch of those 5 losses, that they lost by 1 possession 3 times. So kind of that's been a crutch that's been around for this regime since this offseason. And it's not one that in a league where 70% of the games are 1 possession. Like, you got to find a way. You can't, you're finding ways to lose. Like, that's why I'm flabbergasted by like this season, because you would think you would find a way to at least win 1 or 2 of these games. And they're just, they don't even by luck figure it out.
Most of the time recently they're losing and they have to try to play catch up in these fourth quarters against the Jags and the Buccaneers. They're playing catch up in the fourth quarter.
Right. Every 4th down that's been 4th and short, offense or defense, they lose that battle. 4th and 2 to the Packers, 4th and 4 to the Jags, 4th and 1 and 4th and 2 yesterday. It's just, you go 0 for 4 in that, and I'm sure there's more, but you're 0 for 7 and staring down NFL history. You say, well, I think we got the right crew here. We just need to figure it out. We just need to learn how to win. And like, that'll be interesting to see. As you pointed out, it's been 46 games. I mean, how many more losses, how many more games is it going to take?
Conservatively, how many games can they win down the stretch? We're going to get to your super chats here in a second. We got 20. We're going to get to them all. Hit that like button. How many games conservatively can they win?
Can they win?
Yes, conservatively.
Conservatively 1. 2 max.
What's the other game other than Atlanta? Home
finale against the Rams.
if they sit players.
Yeah. I mean, if the playoff standings, and very often they are, like they're pretty set in stone. But if they're playing for a number one seed or if they're playing for the division, like I saw an odds chart today, Vegas has the Rams and the Seahawks as the 2 Super Bowl odds-on favorites.
Yeah.
They're 1-2. And then they got AFC teams. Like those 2 teams reside in your division. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm with. I think they got 1 win left in them for the rest of the year. I think they probably win 1 more game. And I think it's the Atlanta game. I think you get Kirk Cousins in your building. Falcons are ready to. I mean, Raheem Morris, will he be fired before the Cardinals get to see him? I think there's a possibility. Like,
yeah,
they just lost to the Jets. Cardinals and the Jets have the same record since the beginning of 2023. Here's the draft standings via gross charts. Let's start with this one, Noah. Cardinals right now are picking 8th. They have the same record as the 3 teams in front of them, but the Cardinals, it's like a blessing and it's not a blessing. It's like a double curse. You play in the NFC West, so you've got a 565 strength of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got one of the toughest schedules in the league. You've got the 2nd toughest in the NFL based on strength of schedule. So it bumps you down. So you get knocked against that. So this chart is telling us that they believe the Cardinals are going to finish with right around pick 7 or 8.
Washington's going to win next week. They play the Vikings.
Yeah. And then the Titans, I think, play the Jets or the Saints. A couple of those teams play each other at the top. The Browns play somebody. I mean, this is not over. This is what it believes it's going to go down. Cardinals have an 83% chance to have a top 10 pick, which is, in my opinion, it's a flipping lock. That's a lock of the year. Yeah. The top 5 pick is 21%. I think the top 5 pick is a coin flip. I think because I do believe if you have 3 wins, you're going to pick top 5. Like I think, to your point, I think the Commanders have a couple more wins. I think there's a potential that the Jets win 1 or 2 more games. We'll see about the Browns. The Titans and the Raiders look done. I mean, the Titans are done. The Raiders are done. The Saints play the garbage division themselves, so who knows? But I mean, the Browns, the Jets, the Giants, and the Commanders all have, I think, 3 wins, like the Cardinals do.
The current NFL draft standings are the Cardinals right now. We got them. Let's take a look at that. 8th. Can't believe it's gone this way. It's unreal.
But now you got to finish this. Now we need to finish
the job.
I've gone full heel turn.
Yeah,
We've heard so much slog and crap and garbage. This is a garbage year. You failed the fan base. Finish the job, please. Finish sucking.
You just unlocked. You took your key fob out for your tank. Chirp, chirp. You got it unlocked and both started.
You've lost Johnny Venerable to whatever this was. You've lost the plot with your boy. You have lost the plot. That press conference today, I'm just like, you're above firing any of your offensive coaches. I'm not above rooting for you to lose out and get a top 5 pick. That's how I feel. I hate losing. I'm not going to root against them when I'm watching them this weekend. I'm going to root for them, and I want the players to succeed. But Monday through Saturday, we're doing the show. We're slogging through this December, as you mentioned, the longest December. Finish the job. Get me Ty Simpson, Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza, and inject some hopium in the worst way. Monti Ossenfort's been in a lot of Oregon games. Cardinals have been to every Oregon game this year.
Quack, quack. You guys have been crushing it as far as your chat goes. Let's get to these super chats, Noah, if we could. 20 super chats. How about Schaff? $5 leading us off bright and early. If things play out as I predict them to, we'll wind up with the 5th pick behind Tennessee, New Orleans, Giants, and Vegas. And Tennessee and the Giants don't need a quarterback. Can we trade up for Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore?
Sure they can, but is it worth the price it's going to cost? I also think like you also have to weigh, and this is where it becomes difficult with JG returning. It's like, Are you going to trade a bunch of capital, go get a rookie, and then mandate they make the playoffs next year? Yeah. That's why, like, from an outsider's perspective, what people are saying is it would make more sense to say, well, we have a new coach and we have a rookie quarterback, and who knows? Let's just assume Ossenfort returns, and it's just like, okay, the new coach and the rookie quarterback are going to give time to develop and get their what together. Not, hey, we have to save our jobs, and hey, Dante Moore, go play hero ball. Like, there's just like a dirty feeling with that. I don't feel great about it. I would want Dante Moore to win, but to say, hey, Dante Moore, go save Jonathan Gannon's job, that's a tough look.
At the end of the day, has the evidence been laid out there as far as the quarterback position in this team and Jonathan Gannon? They need a starting caliber quarterback. Kyler Murray is about 500 with Gannon. He's a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
Jacoby Brissett is a backup quarterback. With a backup quarterback, regardless of what the stats tell you, Jonathan Gannon's teams are 2-14. It's a razor edge difference between high level backup and starting caliber quarterback, but you have to break through. You have to find a starter. You can't just go out there and get another Jacoby Brissett and have two of them on the same roster. You've got two of those starter. I know you got to figure it out. That's why the biggest hesitation is.
You got people locally.
Like what I'm saying, I'm just relaying.
Who are they getting? There's no one to get. It's like, you think teams are just going to take our starter? The Cardinals are doing that to other teams. They're like, take our starter. And Cardinals
I'm very hesitant of doing this because I know I'm going to take a lot of shit for it.
Hit me with it.
I think you got to check in on Derek Carr. Yeah.
No.
Yes. I think you got to call Derek Carr and see if he wants to come out of retirement. And you say, can this be Carson Palmer from 2013?
No.
Desperate times, friends.
Is he how old is Derek Carr?
Probably 34, right?
He is 34.
Wow.
Look at him with his nice family 4 days ago. They just announced that they're pregnant with their 5th child. Don't wish this fresh hell on to Derek Carr. Let him retire in peace.
What do you want? What else you got?
Well, if it was up to me, I would keep Kyler Murray. What else are you going to do?
You can't.
No, I can't. I know they can't.
Irreconcilable differences.
And you're not listen, guess whose draft stock is right? The kid from USC. They're saying he's a 2nd round pick now. I love that kid. I'd take that kid in a minute and develop him the right way. They're not getting Mac Jones. We're just going to go full-blown quarterback offseason free agency preview. They're not getting Mac Jones, okay? They're not getting Daniel Jones. They're not getting – yeah, that's good. Do you think they have a plan? Here are the free agent quarterbacks: Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Case Keenum, Josh Johnson, Jeff Driscoll, Joe Flacco. I mean,
Derek Carr's sounding pretty good, isn't he?
I'm gonna tell you what I think they could do. I think they could go to. I think they would take Geno Smith for a 7th.
I'd rather have Derek Carr.
I think they could. I think they would try to sell people like Geno Smith knows the NFC West. He was set up to fail with the Raiders. I think Geno Smith's way more realistic.
He throws too many turnovers.
He's atrocious. He's terrible. I know he's terrible.
Yeah.
But he's an obtainable starting quarterback, though.
I just gave you.
You gave me a guy who's been retired for over a year.
Just a year, just this season.
He didn't play last year, though. He got hurt, and he was later. He hasn't played in 18 months.
Yeah.
Oh, Mondo's saying Marcus Mariota. He and Jacoby are the same guy. They're the same guy. With they're backup quarter.
Marcus Mariota, backup quarterback. Sign me up. Jacoby Brissett, backup quarterback. Sign me up.
These are all.
I know I'm going to take crap for it, but
I appreciate the creativity. 100%.
No, it's not just being creative. I mean, we're back into a corner.
Are you a fan that you text Derek Carr?
No. If you look at my Twitter receipts, you'll know that I'm not a Derek Carr fan.
I'm going to tell you right now, all these options are getting Gannon fired next year.
So but Zach Wilson can't play. He flat out can't play. Didn't the kid from Texas, the 7th round pick, didn't he outplay Wilson? Isn't he ahead of him on the depth chart in Miami?
Knowing what we know about who Gannon likes as his next OC, we're not going to reveal any names today. Who do you believe would fit well with either one of those guys?
Like veteran? Are we talking veteran market?
Yeah. Rookies aside, because you know they're going to go out and get a veteran. Like who? Hang on, we can't reveal anything yet.
Yeah,
hang on, I'm looking something up. Give me a minute. Go to another super chat.
Okay. Sorry to ruin everybody's Monday with this, but look, desperate times. T. Cleary, no sense of urgency. Play calling's awful, unimaginative. Coaches sucking the life out of good talent.
Sucking the life out of their fans, too.
How about our guy Hayden? Been a supporter for the last 2 months. Thank you so much, Hayden. He's saying Gannon, after he got his PR training from the Cardinals, has been different ever since. He's using my Bo facepalm emoji. Johnny's deep in research. I'm going to continue on here. You guys crushed it as far as the super chats. Carp Fish, how likely is it that Stefanski is calling plays for the Arizona Cardinals next year?
10%.
Yeah, not bloody likely. There's like Stefanski and Petzing are very close.
He's just Stefanski is Petzing's mentor. They talk on the phone like weekly. And like I think Stefanski would be good. I was told there's a lot of red tape with that. Not happening. He and Dable, not happening. The names we've heard of, though, yeah, that they aren't the names.
Shane Lame. Everything is right in front of the owner's face that JG and DP need to go. Every stat is screaming, get rid of them, and teams are laughing at their scheme.
I don't disagree. I mean, how can you disagree with this?
He's trying to give his players props, like revealing, like, oh, yeah.
Cardinals.
And look, it does. Like, Gannon's even said, like, coaching in the NFL or just playing in the NFL, it's an open book test. Mm-hmm. Like, if you watch the film, you'll see the tendencies, you'll see the formations. And if you do your homework, like you should be pretty well prepared, then it becomes an execution game. But like in critical situations, 4th and short, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and your blinkers on, it makes execution incredibly hard.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
I found him. Found the quarterback.
You found him.
Yep. 29 years old. Went to Washington State. 6'1", 225. Career 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Gardner Minshew.
I like it more than Derek Carr.
Gardner, I'm going to go on the record right now. If the hires are what we believe, put it on the board December 1st, Gardner Minshew.
He's a backup.
I don't disagree, but like Jacoby Brissett's going to have more viable, like starting, like traits than I think they'll bring him in with Jacoby Brissett. That's my prediction, assuming that they hire who we think they could hire. Gardner Minshew is my prediction. People are hating that. Hating that.
Yeah, they should. I hate that. Keeping it going. I love these super chats. How about Indigenous Daddy? Don't we play the AFC West? How do we expect playoffs with this staff and potential rookie quarterback? Next year won't be different.
I mean, you're just preaching to the choir. You need to get a quarterback first or second round, primarily a first round, either trading up in the beginning of the second or getting one at the top of the draft, and develop them the right way and surround them with talent and surround them with guys who believe in them. Do not try to put a Band-Aid over this thing. Also, like the NFC, this is the best the NFC's ever been, like top to bottom. So like, it's not a bad year for you to be terrible, but you got to be able to have self-awareness to say like, this is who we're competing against. I saw the 9th seed in the NFC is on pace for like 9 wins. It's like, you're screwed with that. You got to be smarter than that.
Desert Vulture jumping in front of the show. What Gannon doesn't understand is if when he's fired next year, maybe other owners will not entertain him for head coaching jobs for a long, long time.
This very well could be it for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're this many games under 500, like I don't think it's hyperbole to say like he'll never get another head coaching job.
Yeah.
He would have to. I mean, Steve Spagnuolo is an elite defensive coordinator, probably going to the Hall of Fame. He cannot get the stench off his time with the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing Spagnuolo's record was better than Gannon's.
Yeah.
That was before Cronkite owned the Rams. And that's why it's
Kroenke.
like Kroenke, excuse me. Where's the sense of urgency, JG, to go? Yeah. You're right. And he said today, because people are bringing up the record now to him in pressers. You're sitting there, Bo, and people are like, this record. And he's like, damn right, it's my record. And it's like, do something about it. Change something.
Yeah. Our guy Schaff. What's up, my fellow bird gangsters? I feel the pain in the chat. Petzing is close to getting make the fans somewhat happy. Fire Dr. Evil.
Steve Spagnuolo, 11-41.
11-41.
Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah.
11-41. Was that so? He was with. Well, he had a year that he was an interim coach though. Here is 3 years with the Rams: 1-15, 7-9, 2-14. They fired him, and then he had an interim year in 2017 when one of the 100 coaches of the Giants got fired. He went 1-3. So it's not really that, but it's kind of that. Okay. Spagnuolo's got maybe the worst. That's why he's not getting a job. That's why we were like, never.
Yeah. Keeping it going with our super chats. How about Seamus? Bo, will you please ask when we lose next week what coaches are actually doing to get better and not just talking out of his ass each week about details?
Yeah, Bo, ask him.
That's a fair question. And I think Gannon will say that's a fair question. And hopefully we'll get something that resembles an honest answer. Good. That's a good idea, Seamus. Instead of the people out there like pounding the table saying like the media is the one that's letting them off the hook.
I don't like Gannon's comment about like we know, like they're coaching and they know what they need to do to correct it, and it's just not being corrected. I think that puts too much ownership of the players. I think that's giving themselves too much credit that they're able to identify what the problem is.
Yeah.
I think you're just, when you're getting out schemed every week, that's not a player execution problem. Like you can say like it was an execution problem against the Titans. I'll buy that. You were fumbling footballs and stuff, but like you're getting out schemed against the Seahawks and the 49ers and Duval jerk dude in Jacksonville.
Easy.
You're getting out schemed by Todd Bowles. You're getting out schemed the last month. You're not getting, it's not a player's problem.
Our guy, Charlie Sinclair, resident Chargers fan. I know you keep saying he's going to fire them in January. Have we considered what if he doesn't?
No, he's not. He's not being retained.
The public outcry would be probably the loudest. Yeah, it's already at a loud pitch. It's going to be even higher than that.
He's like, we know the OCs he wants to get.
Okay. Indigenous Daddy with a very generous $20. Thank you for that. Is it possible Kyler said something behind closed doors to the OC, especially after the Titans loss? I can imagine he would stay quiet, and that was the reason they soft benched him. Sorry, I can't type out the clown's name.
Can't get into what happened, why it happened, when it happened, but they had a falling out during the year, and this is what's. I mean, they're separating. They're parting ways. They had a falling out.
Our guy Keith always making good points in the chat. Here's his super chat. Antonio Pierce was beloved by Raiders players. They fired him after he went 4-13 after his only full season. Being liked is not leadership. I think there were some other things that went into AP. Like, wasn't he out at the casinos until the wee hours in the morning before a loss at one point?
Correct.
Yeah.
Gannon is really well respected around like league circles as a coach. He just may not be a head coach. He just might not be a head coach.
Yeah. Who else we got going on here? How about Harrison Larson? Wife is a Rams fan. We always get tickets to the Rams cards at SoFi. don't really want to go this year. I've lost faith in the staff. Burn it all.
It's a great stadium, though. I think it's the
Yeah.
best stadium in the NFL.
Very nice. Buanaki making the playoffs next year with a rookie quarterback per Albright. With JG, don't see it. But with McCarthy, Saleh, I can see it.
Robert Saleh, I will die on this hill, is the quickest way back to relevancy for this franchise. You can scoff at that. You're scoffing at me like
I was laughing at our previous super chat. Somebody was suggesting divorce because his wife is a Rams fan, but no, stick together.
Stay together.
You can be a divided household.
This is a fun hobby. This isn't real life. Although it's seeping into my personal life. Ask my wife. Terrible mood all the time. This team sucks. Robert Saleh would, in my opinion, get the Cardinals back to viability the quickest. McCarthy, I think. Somebody close to me was texting me like, what today? Like, would you be interested in Mike Tomlin if the Steelers parted with him and all that? I don't want anybody outside of this division. Nobody knows what it's like to coach against these guys. Mike Tomlin's losing to garbage coaches every other week. Like, Mike Tomlin, Kevin O'Connell, all these other guys, they're good coaches. Some of them are great coaches. McCarthy's won a Super Bowl. Don't give me anybody who doesn't have an elite resume in this division. Robert Saleh is beating teams with USFL players. Look at the players he had yesterday, and he embarrassed Kevin Stefanski. He's getting takeaways and pressures with me and Bo. He went 7-10 with Zach Wilson in the AFC, and was 2-3 in front of the division. Woody Johnson fired him. He is the defensive coach of the year. He would be my first and only call. I would say, Robert, I don't know, somebody was like, what if you give a pick to the 49ers? Give them all your picks. If it's an elite head coaching prospect, do it. That's what I would do.
AZ Moses' problem is we're already the Jets, Browns of the NFC.
Correct.
It's going to be tough to beat those accusations. No doubt about it.
Correct.
Buanaki, he's back. If Bidwell wants culture, why not get Saleh, who succeeds in New York, won 6 to 7 games with Wilson, knows how to coach. Look at San Francisco, not afraid to make tough choices, actually holds accountability.
He saved their season.
Yeah. Keeping it going here. Thank you, Buanaki. How about we've got Native Trader. Need a coach from our division, just like Johnny was saying, who knows what it takes to be competitive in NFC West. First, which equals competitive league-wide. 100% for Robert Saleh.
I mean, it's a guy who's been a head coach before. Check. It's a guy that knows the division. Check. It's a guy that's succeeding right now. Check. It checks every box for you. There's not a box that doesn't check. The only one that you could say is, well, he doesn't know how to develop a quarterback. Like, Robert Saleh could win with a journeyman quarterback. A big knock on Gannon right now is this team is set up to win despite quarterback play. Hey, you went all in on line of scrimmage players and defenders, right? Like, the Cardinals should be winning a lot like the Bears are winning right now. They can't even do that.
Right.
Robert Saleh I think Robert Saleh could come in and win 9 games next year with a Gardner Minshew, with somebody like that. And you're going to be winning games 10-17, and people are going to love it. And instead of like, hey, let's blow every fourth quarter in new and embarrassing ways.
How about our friend over here, Shane Lame? None of this makes sense. They're not going to be better next year. Next year is another trust the process year. They threw away their franchise quarterback. Who are they getting that's better? What a mess.
Does Kyler Murray have a market though, Shane Lame? Are they able to trade him? I think a lot of that's going to come out. If Kyler Murray doesn't have a market and they have to cut him outright, then the league is showing you what they think of Kyler and his contract. But if I will say, if Kyler Murray has a market and people are like, here's a third, here's a fourth, whatever, and you're like, okay, sure, let's get the cap relief, let's get the picks, then you got to wake up and go to the facility the next day and be like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we could, like, Jacoby Brissett has not been good the last couple of weeks. Does Jacoby Brissett win that game yesterday? Does Jacoby Brissett beat Jacksonville? I don't think does Kyler Murray win those 2 games? I think without Drew Petzing, he might. I don't want to see any more Drew Petzing and Kyler Murray, though. We've established that.
Yeah. I think that the difference that you would find from Kyler and Brissett is the ability to potentially get leads earlier in games.
Extend plays.
They just play from behind constantly. And Brissett's able to, put the team in a position to get back into it and then just can't get past it. And I think that's the difference between when was the last time they were legitimately ahead in a game? It was Dallas. It was far too long ago. Our guy Lamar is back today. Thank you, Lamar. Good to hear from it. JG going to get hit with the Josh Dobbs effect. Hope not.
Just journeyman head coach. They just
quarterback situation next year.
I mean, what do you think Monti Ossenfort is thinking right now?
Hopefully about who his next quarterback is.
I think you got to get one in free agency and the draft.
Yeah.
I think you got to get two.
No, I mean, Brissett's under contract. Brissett, I would take Brissett 100 times out of 100 as a backup quarterback.
But okay, so let's say, I know we're over time. We got super chat still. Let's say that the Cardinals are picking 5th and they get Ty Simpson in the draft. And you have Jacoby Brissett and Jonathan Gannon your head coach. So you're just going into next season, Ty Simpson's your starter in the NFC West week 1.
They would probably do this. It would be insufferable, but it'd be like this. You don't know who's going to start. And Simpson might not see the field for the first couple of weeks. Probably. Yeah. It would be probably.
That's a bad. We're on the. That's a bad.
They would take all the fun out of it. They would take all the fun out of having a top pick quarterback.
That's a bad plan. All right, keep things going. Sorry, we do a whole show. This offseason is going to be wild.
Yeah. Desert Vulture, we have to lose the Falcons, the Rams' #1 pick.
There is an incentive.
Huge incentive.
There's an incentive to play Keaton Slovis after these next 2 weeks, in my opinion. Follow the Vikings lead.
Yeah. What we got here? DS. Even if they wanted Kyler to return to the field, I don't think he'd want to. The franchise has disrespected him since he was drafted.
Well, Gannon and Monty have embraced him. I know, but he and Bidwell had the spout against his contract. Kyler Murray got 2 years he really got 2024 to show that he can lead this team to the postseason. And then they didn't add a quarterback this offseason outside Jacoby, but it was understood that Jacoby was a backup. And then Kyler Murray got hurt. And then they liked what they saw from Jacoby. And then some other stuff went down. They're like, all right, we're done.
Indigenous Daddy, would the OC they're looking at win with K1, in your opinion?
Win what?
I don't know if you can. You've seen 2 offensive play callers, and Kyler Murray's got a sub 500 record. That's tough to say.
Might be able to have some success.
We're not going to get to find out. That's
no. People are going to be asking that after the hirings happen for sure.
Yeah. How about Brian P? David Girardi, I'm assuming, is who the name is floating around based on JV's hints.
No.
And we got our guy DS back. Carr led the Raiders to a 12-4 playoff run, was an MVP candidate. I'll even admit that was a long time ago. Was that his 2nd or 3rd year in the season or in the league?
He was really bad with the Saints. He was really bad.
He had 15 touchdowns, 5 picks, but I know it was more than just stats.
In a bad division. I thought they were going to clean up in that division. I thought they were going to, and he had Clint Kubiak. Yeah,
and remember how they started the season last year? They were on fire.
Yeah, and then
he went 9-8 with the Saints in 2023. 25 touchdowns, 8 picks.
It's a long time ago. I think
2023.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
So that's such a bullshit thing to say. It was 2 seasons ago. Stop. You're trying to force feed Gardner Minshew.
No, it's Gardner's in the NFL. I'm trying to connect
Carr had he at least ducked out, and didn't he avoid having to pay all the money?
You really think this is a viable thing that
I do, reach out based on the market and what's available?
I will be floored beyond belief if it comes across the ticker Cardinals in discussions of signing.
Here's my first hope that there's better options.
There won't be.
But I'm looking at this free agent market, and I don't see many that many better options outside of what you already have in house.
You've got Colin Cowherd speculating that the Vikings could give up a second for Mac Jones for San Francisco.
Right.
This is how far ahead the teams are in your division. The Rams could be drafting ahead of you and win the Super Bowl.
But aren't you disqualified from the Mac Jones?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
sweepstakes?
That's the rate for a Mac Jones. I mean, you could have signed
Aiden O'Connell? No.
Never.
Right.
You're at,
I mean,
do you want to get fired? I put Gannon in a room with Ossenfort and be like, do you want to get fired? You trying to get fired? That's why it's nuts that they've made their bed with K1. Because at least with Kyler, it's like, okay, well, he's under contract, and here's what I can tell everybody definitively 120%. Jonathan Gannon loves Kyler Murray. Jonathan Gannon would roll with Kyler Murray in 2026.
Lamar, Washington, JG going to get told he's safe, only to get fired the next day. Oh, like Josh Dobbs. I apologize. So Josh Dobbs' effect Lamar was talking about was saying he was safe, and then the next day he's traded.
I think Lamar, they have too much respect for Gannon, and I think they would tell Gannon that this isn't going well. You need to start winning games. And then that's when I think Gannon would feel a sense of urgency to fire people in season. And the fact that that has not happened, I think that's the clearest example, evidence of why Gannon's returning, is that his staff is his staff, and then he's going to be forced to make changes in January. So, I mean, look at every example of all Eberflus firing Shane Walden, Steve Wilkes firing Mike McCoy. When guys know that they are screwed, they start being Pete Carroll firing Chip Kelly. Pete Carroll could get fired at the end of the year. When guys know they're safe, they're not firing coordinators. They're not. They're going to keep them until they have to replace them. But the fact that Gannon doesn't have the self-awareness to be like, this guy stinks, I need somebody else.
Yeah. Shane, with their last super chat of the evening, they ruined any leverage they had with K1.
I disagree. I think if Kyler Murray was going to have a trade market now, he would have had a trade market before the season started. I think, listen, we go through these options. It's like Kyler Murray looks pretty good. It's the contract, though. Do people want to inherit that? The contract was not going to change regardless of what people think publicly or privately about Kyler.
Yeah.
What a show.
We've got our Give Big tomorrow, and there's going to be tons of incentives for all of you in the audience to donate. We're going to have things that it's our day of giving, and we're going to come together, Johnny and I and Noah, and coming together with incentives for you to give big tomorrow, like scoops, tasks that the hosts and producers have to do if we reach certain checkpoints as far as our day of giving tomorrow. So, and of course, you guys drop in the comments what you want to see on the board and make us do for a great cause, because we will absolutely follow through with that. But that's coming down tomorrow. We're all in together now at PHNX in All City.
Can somebody gift us a win? No.
Maybe I'll confess my undying love for Derek Carr on tomorrow's show. If you guys get
it, that's wild that you brought that up.
Why do you think it's that wild?
This could be a thing. He's doing like a podcast. He's out of football.
He's one season out. Doug Peterson?
No, but that's a good guess. And that's also somebody that Gannon should have hired. Gannon should have hired Doug Peterson this offseason. Yeah. Jonathan Gannon should have fired Drew Petzing in January and gave Clayton Adams a pay raise and gotten a senior offensive coordinator to come in and work. Doug Peterson with Kyler would have been great. That's exactly what Jonathan Gannon needed to do, and he didn't. And then Drew Petzing's agent got, they worked the phones and they got him an interview for the Bears job as a favor because he was never getting that job. And now it's like, whoops, we have an incompetent offensive staff. We don't know what we're doing. The Buccaneers know our plays. Whoops. It's like, look at these staffs.
So long ago. Yeah.
Look at the staffs in the NFC. It's like Kevin O'Connell Brian Flores, Robert Saleh, Kyle Shanahan, Clint Kubiak, Mike McDonald, and it's like Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing. It's just like, what? Come on, guys. If I'm Gannon, I'm calling in every favor imaginable this past offseason to try to get the best staff. I'm fighting for my life on this staff, and instead it's like it was very much like trust the process.
Yeah,
and it's blown up in their face.
You want to see it? Johnny chug a huge beer. I'm going to donate and make him chug a huge beer upside down. Look, put it in the comments and we'll put it up for an option tomorrow.
Why am I being punished? We're here every day holding this team accountable. We did 6 hours of live on air content yesterday, by the way. It's great that people love to watch it.
We don't end this damn show.
No, I want to keep going. Bo doesn't need to see his family. Let's keep going. We could do multiple hours of on-air content about what's going to happen with this team. Bo's got to wear a jersey. I like that.
We got plenty of them around here. I'll wear multiple jerseys, but you got to give.
What do you think is going to happen with Drew's presser tomorrow, real quick? Good stuff.
Probably lots of rage bait. Probably lots of rage inciting answers. Yeah.
Just cancel that. Hey,
I'm just going to ask him about Derek Carr. What do you think about Derek Carr?
I can't believe that. Big thanks to everybody. Hit that like button. Subscribe to PHNX Sports. We thrive in chaos, just like the Cardinals, apparently. Big thanks to Noah Man crushing it with the graphics. A long show today.
Put that fire and brimstone graphic up one more time. Let's take a look at it. It's taking it all its glory. This is us. That's the PHNX crew and fan base and listenership. That's us during the 2025 season. Just in a vat of flames, watching this team take hit after hit, going 3-9, losing 5 straight, 3 straight, 9-10, losing the hapless Titans, 0-7 in games decided by 4 or less points. Watching Kyler Murray get soft benched. That's us.
Derek Carr, as of September 12th, saying, I'll be ready for a possible NFL comeback. If you call this, if this ends up happening, I will give you all the flowers. Derek Carr could unretire, play for another team than the Saints in 2026, according to Albert Breer. Could be a hang-up. The Saints negotiated the deal to move on where a team won't go after the $10 million roster bonus. If already paid out for 2025, Carr will walk away from that. But it's tenable ending for the situation. And if some team decides for one reason or another wants to call the Saints to see if Carr will be available, we'll see what happens.
Is he talking about this season?
Right. And then, and so do the Saints lose his rights then?
I think after this year, yes.
Wow. This is one from a month ago. David Carr saying Derek Carr staying ready amid unretirement rumors. Oh, Jesus.
I'm not rooting for it. Them the options.
I'm in. I'm back in. An old Derek Carr. Ripping it, baby. Ripping it to Marv.
You know, Greg Dortch moves on. That number 4 jersey's right there.
Oh, my God.
Bring us back to the Kevin Cobb days. And it's going to be a disgusting talking point on Sports Talk Radio saying he's Carson Palmer reborn.
Let me look at, so he's never had a terrible season. 5-5, 9-8, 6-9, 10-7, 8-8, 7-9. He went 4-12 run year, 6-9, 12-3, 7-9, 3-13. All right. So we're just going to make it known the Cardinals are going to pursue Derek Carr this offseason. Got it. I wonder, so hell-bent to move off Kyler Murray. Maybe the deal's already done. Maybe a deal's already. Derek Carr reporting for off-season workouts in March. I can't.
Those like off-campus workouts not going to have as much sizzle as they did with K1. Probably not.
Derek's like, hey guys, want to go to California? I heard you did that with Kyler, and they're like, we're good, Derek.
Guys, my wife made snacks. Packed you guys some lunches. You ready to take this season? You ready for that? The playoffs or bust type season for JG?
So he's definitely unretiring. So you're right. He's definitely playing next year. He escaped the Saints. So it was basically a ploy like Carson to escape the team.
Yeah.
So he's escaped the Saints. Oh my God. Well, can't wait. In the meantime, the Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett, host the LA Rams this weekend in a bloodbath. All right, now we're going to log off. Hit that like button. We're back on a Football Tuesday. Drew Petzing's comments, one of the last pressers, we assume, for offensive coordinator Drew Petzing. We'll see you then.
We all silly like the mayor.